goes along with the shape builder activity that you're going to have to complete. It's pretty straightforward once you know how the tool kind of works. You've got a file that I've created for you already. It's going to be this 11 by 17 document. Inside of the document, this is basically, if we're to look at our layers panel, we've got a template layer, which is going to be a JPEG, so you're not going to be able to sit here and copy and paste these pieces and try to make them. And you've got a working layer. First thing I want to do is make sure that I'm in Essentials Classic. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and probably figure out how to make some of these shapes, right? So if we're looking up here at the upper left-hand corner, we can kind of make the talk bubble together. We've got different types of shapes we can use. We've got the rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, star, and so on. So when we come to the rounded rectangle, we're going to draw in the middle portion here between the two, the template and what the final example kind of looks like. So if we come in and we draw ourselves a rectangle, we're not overly happy with the way that the shapes look, we can click and pull on these corner tabs, and that will create a different rounded piece for me. Once I go ahead and position that, I'm going to then grab a triangle. Where do I get a triangle from? Well, I get that from the polygon tool, right? So if I click and draw and I use my arrow key, I go up or down, I can kind of control where that's going to go. So I'm just going to draw a perfect one by holding shift, and then just kind of rotate that to the point where I think I want my talk bubble to kind of look. So at this point, I've created the two basic shapes that I need to. They're overlapping. That's a pretty important piece that they overlap. So once you get that taken care of, you probably want to go ahead and set your colors the correct way. We don't want to have any strokes, so we'll turn the strokes off. And once you have turned off the strokes, you can go ahead and give yourself a solid fill. So let's go over here and choose a color. Great, we've got that taken care of. Once you're looking at your tools over here, you have a shape builder tool. By clicking on it once, that activates the tool. But notice I had my shapes selected. That's a key piece there, is to have your shapes selected, then get the shape builder tool. If I click and drag, those two have just become a solid shape. They are now one. If I go Control Y, you can see there's no more overlapping pieces there. So let's kind of maybe do the camera together so we can kind of see how that's going to be done. Let's get our rounded rectangle back up here. We'll come over here, draw our rectangle. Again, mine's a bit excessive, so I'm in here and round that out a little bit. It looks like we need to create a bunch of different shapes. We need to create a little square, maybe that's going to go in the upper corner here. Let's change that to a different color so we know what it is. We need to create a long bar that's going to run across the top there. And we need to get a couple circles going here from the middle of the camera. If I hold Shift and Alt when I draw the circle, it will draw it from the center of the circle. Always helps to zoom in and kind of see what you're doing. We'll grab the circle tool again, find the center of wherever that is, hold Shift and Alt, drag out. And now we have just created our pieces, right? So we got all the pieces. You can kind of see the lines are overlapping there. We've got no stroke. And what we do at this point is get that shape builder tool back up with everything being selected. And here's the trick part. The modifier key is going to be Alt. Wherever I hold Alt and click, it will disappear. It will create a compound shape. So I click in the little square there. I can click and drag while holding Alt through these bars. Those will also disappear. If I kind of want to go up and around, and now I have created a shape. Although I still have these two independent shapes here, I'm going to click and drag, and I've now just formed that into a solid shape. If I want to go back and adjust the colors so they match, I can. I come in there and do that. For full credit on the assignment, you're going to have to try to play and create the background piece there. To do that, that's pretty simple as well, right? If we come in here, draw another circle, and then we come in and grab a rectangle, right? A rectangle can kind of just split that in half. So once I've got this taken care of, I can go ahead and select both pieces, and I can hold the Alt tool. I can click on the piece that I do not want to keep, and it goes away. I'm left with the ability to change the color of these two shapes. I can then position it over the top of my camera, increase the size of it, and then right click on it, arrange, and send to the back. We probably want to come in and select and make these pieces black. So once you've got those chosen, maybe you group them together, grab those pieces, and center them together. For the rest of the assignment, you are just going to have to try to work through this. You're going to want to do your best to try to match what you see here on the right. When I grade this, I will do a Control-Y to take a look at it. Something that looks wrong will be look like this. If I come in here and I draw the two circles on the bottom, right? I'm going to get this one, draw another circle really quick. I lost it because I don't have any fill in it. Grab another circle. And we'll go click and drag, make that big, get ourselves our triangle up here, hold shift. So once you've drawn your triangle, you can then rotate it and kind of get it positioned correctly. And once you've got it positioned correctly, then you can adjust it so that it sits correctly right on the edge there. That, pull down, and we have now just created our eyedropper. If you think this is correct, because you come over here and you select this white one and you turn this white, and that kind of looks like it. If you bring everything to the front the right way, it will appear to be correct. But when I come in and grade and I do Control-Y, you can still see that you have not shape builded that, so you will not get points for that particular activity. Other than that, you just got to work your way through the assignment. This gear will be extra credit. If you can figure out how to do that, I will give you some extra credit for that particular piece. But good luck. Have fun.